together and like your thought process. But I want to hear a little
Well,
bit about like your background first. Can we do that? Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, can we start with about your like can we talk about your beginnings, like who brought you up and how big of an influence was she in your life?
Okay. Thank you all. If I don't speak something, you need to help me, Gaby, because it's my first time in English. So
You're
I'm
fine.
here.
You're fine.
Yeah, at 14 years old, I started to live in different places out of my home. No, I for the life it's like this. No, so I live with friends. The people who say me, yes, you can live with us. Okay, I will go with you. Until I arrive with my actress, my actress aunt at 70s. No, I find a home there. No, my aunt changed my life 3,600 degrees. And thanks of her, I started to believe that love can exist in my life. No, it's my first thing that I need to the big influences that I live in a world without love. And with her at 17, I say, oh, yes, we can live in the world. She tamed the shrew, shrew. She tamed the shrew in me. She was the most influence in many ways, not just that as a human being. I adore her, her human spirit, her love for the beauty, her generosity, the capacity to learn all the time, everything as an actress, her passion, her commitment, her creativity. In many ways, she was my inspiration. And of course, I wanted to be an actress since I was a child.
Wow. So you said perezoso, like she kicked the lazy out of you. And and
I love that.
yeah. So like what got you into acting? Like you started acting at what age?
Well, at after I finished my first career, no, but because I studied first psychology, because my aunt didn't let me do in theater until I finished a career first, because she felt fear that I can lost as a many young people in vices and bad company, including drug abuse. And for my history, she says, no, you need stability in your life, and after that you can do everything. But I think I start 22, 21,
Wow.
22. Yes.
Was that
Wow.
when you started learning how to act? When did you learn? ¿Cuándo aprendiste a actuar?
Yes. When all the time I say that I was an actress when I was child, because when I was 5 years old, I invited in my mind another history to the people. I was a happy child. All the time I said, yes, I'm a happy, everything, because I had a good imagination. So since I was child, I all my time create another histories, and I recreate for the people, how are you? And I said, when I was a child, fine, even if it wasn't true, because as you know, I didn't have a family, you know, so I invented into the people, and the people when I was child see me like a nice girl, and I say, okay, I don't want that the people see that I'm a victim or I am not good girl, but to learn in theater, I think that I started, yes, in university, because in psychology, because I was in the theater of engineering theater. I was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yes.
And what method of acting did you learn?
What?
What method? ¿Qué método de?
Yeah, see, okay, yes, I understand. Well, the method was is a strange method because it's not the typical method. The name is psychophysical. It's known as a psychophysic method. Was invented by a Greek author whose name is Dimitrios Arras, who lives in United States. I have many authors of United States who he took this method. In this method, I want to write a book, in fact, of that, because in this method, you need to be held with yourself. Normally, you need to have the capacity to know you, to recreate, to reinvent yourself, to be the best part of your life. I loved it because I studied first another kind of method. So I said, teach me your method, please, because I saw that you are happy all the time, and not happy like this, but you really enjoy with this strong. So I want to learn this. And the basis of this method is that you need to work with 3 languages that I adore: body language, and you have all the techniques, verbal languages, and inner inside. Yes, it's okay. Inner language. And you have many eyes. You have your eye public, you are private, and your intimate eye. So I have many. You are not an hypocrisy, people, never. You just have a personality when you are in the public, when you are in a private place just with you, and you have that I don't know how to say, intimate, yes. So this is the basis of this method, the 3 pillars there. You need to be yourself good, 3 languages, and it's amazing study these 3 languages because you have many instruments with the who came from the music, no, for the letter, for the narrative, for the languages, and the body, of course, for the dance and all kind of things. And the 3 I, yo públicos, I publics, you can say
like public eye, public eye,
public eye. Thank you. Private eye, and yes, intimate eye. Yes, that's
interesting. So you learned 3 different languages in this whole method? Is that what it was? Yes.
Well,
yes,
it's your body language, your emotional state language, and the verbal language that you're speaking. And that's what you have to connect to as an actress or an actor.
You need to connect the 3 and create the character.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's amazing because you can use, okay, for this character, I will use the private eye, and I will use this technique or this monologue or these symbolisms, or because every languages have their own techniques. So yes, you can, like a puzzle, give you many instruments to create a character. And yes, for me, it's an amazing, and I hope to write the book because it's really practical, right? So practice. Yes.
That's interesting. I love that. I love that. May I ask a question? Can we go back a little bit when you were talking about how your aunt was saying, no, you need to get an education first, don't go into acting? Did you really not like that answer? Like, were you really upset when she told you that?
Yeah, I was so angry, of course, so angry. So for many years, I never understand my aunt.
Why? Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know if everybody is like this. No, oh yes, you need to study first and go because you can be a disaster if you are not an actress. I don't believe that. I think that some people is amazing and they don't lose the way. But in my case, was important to stop me because I was like, as I say, an animal without direction. So she says, no, you need to study first another thing, whatever you want, but not because you will be like la dolce vita. You will lose, and it's okay. For the passion that I have, I can see myself not in a good way.
So it almost grounded you a little bit first, like, so you were grounded in yourself and who you are, and then you had and then you could lay out the path for your acting. Sorry, go ahead, Angela.
Well, I was just going to mention that, I did hear that sometimes as a child, you kind of gravitate towards the stuff that you're going to be working with in the future. I know it's like a wives' tale, but like for me, I used to love playing with my mom's record machine, like loved it. Like she could not keep me away from the record machine. And lo and behold, I ended up in radio, know, so it's kind of like one of those things, like sometimes you're just drawn to what you kind of chose for yourself, without even knowing it.
I would totally agree with you. I mean, like right now, when my youngest child is doing what I'm doing, right? So he's following my footsteps and I'm letting him do it early on. I'm not, I'm allowing him to do it early on, but I also know that as his parent, I still need to guide him through school and to finish school, and also, you know, be able to get through his educational, you know, the layers of
Upbringing.
education. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they needs to
Yes.
get through. But I looked at it like, hey, if you wanted to try soccer, I put you in soccer. If you want to try
Mhm.
football, I put you in
Mhm.
football. So
Mm.
voice acting and acting on camera is kind of like that. This is an extracurricular thing for you. You might earn a little extra money on the side, but you still have to be in school and be grounded. And I still have to
Right.
guide you through the normal parental stuff. But so are you? I'm so fascinated because I was going to talk to you. I was going to ask that same question Angela asked you. But I mean, I'm fascinated. Once you got through school and then you started acting, are you still acting, or or is it more of like something that you do on the side and psychology is your main career?
Well, I left theater to came to Merida, no,
Yeah.
because I live now in Merida. I did some, I don't know how do you say in English when you say you, yes, sometimes with my friends we do something writing by us in the theaters from Mexico, because yes, I did a lot of theater in Mexico. I did some Tibu, I did some things in Italy and in Mexico. So yes, if you tell me if I want to do yes, I could, but now that since I am here in Merida, I'm not doing theater anymore, not now.
No.
But what she used to do, and she was telling me about this, is that in Mexico City, like one of her friends would write out a script and gather a group of actors, and then they go to the streets and perform
Oh, okay.
and
Street.
just have fun with the
Yeah.
audience and get like practice out of that, which I thought was fascinating. I'm like, that's really cool. I would do that too.
I guess was for me it was one of the best experience in my life, because you normally in the theater you do it, but we were a group and the government helped us, and was beautiful because we went to the subway, for example, one night to read poetry. So to someone, we were without pajamas. No, I used my pajamas, and I said, I need to sleep with. I don't know. You need to read to me, Rilke. I don't know, no, or something, or I don't know, another who is Cortázar. Please read me, and the people say okay and receive good. Or sometimes we they different things to show the different culture of the theater, the music, the dance, and the people receive good, but really, really simple to connect just with 2 or 3 people who were there in the subway or in the street. So
cool.
for me, it was one of the best experience of my life. Yeah, I need to be honest. I don't know how do you say in English, teatro callejero? Street theater. I really love it. Yes, it's an amazing, because the people needed that in the in day by day. I think is every day needs to be like a surprise, and the people in the street was thank you, no, for this
Happiness, like a happy moment. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because you both benefit from it. You benefit from it as you're getting like your chance to act and improvise, and then at the same time you're creating joy for somebody else, for the audience.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
And I did theater too with the people who lives inside on the water sports in Mexico. We have that problem. The children who lives in abajo del agua en las alcantarillas. Sorry for
like
the drains.
yeah,
Like the drains, the sewer drains. Yeah.
So for me, theater and art in general, but theater can help these people to have another way to express. So when I work with them, was beautiful to know his world and give an instrument to express themselves. So I did all the theater in the street. I really loved. I need to be honest. That was my passion. No, don't pay. You can eat with that. So I left.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can live with that, but it's a really good experience in my heart.
I know what we're doing next time we get together, guys.
Oh gosh.
Improvised street theater.
It's gonna be led by Lloyd.
Yes, exactly.
Lloyd is he's our improv specialist.
Yes. So I have a question. So once you began acting in Mexico, you eventually took on and left abroad, and you moved to Italy for the next 7 years. Is that right?
Yes,
7 years?
yes, 7 years.
So what made you move there, and what was the biggest challenge for you having to act in Italy?
Well, I always wanted to travel and study in Europe and walk in the antique place because I'm an antique person, and walk in the street with the ancients. No, I admire all the legendary creations. So I'm a romantic in the end. No, I win a scholarship in Accademia d'Arte Silvio D'Amico, no, for 1 year. So I did an audition, and I be part of Meta Teatro. Is a theater in Rome, in Trastevere, a beautiful place that I really love. Trastevere is the place in Rome, and I did something Pedro Páramo, is in Mexican novel. So I was so happy to act to start in Italy with this opportunity, doing something Mexican. No, I need to be honest. When you told me this, the challenge. I felt absolutely with liberty in it. I need to be this honest. I didn't feel a big challenge because I feel outside of my home. Nobody knows me. Nobody on the theater scene in Mexico could see me because whatever was strong. Nobody couldn't see me. So yes, in Italy, I took the challenge as the possibility to be better.
Yeah.
To play, to enjoy everything at maximum. So in that period, I was crazy. I felt that I can do everything. Nobody sees me. I can do whatever I want. I can do but
that gets old fast, huh?
Yeah.
It gets very old very fast. I get that.
See, okay, thank you.
Well, so I moved from my hometown to Las Vegas, and I was out in Las Vegas for about 5 years, and same thing, really excited for the opportunity, and then it just got meh real quick. So I get that, definitely.
But there's something to be said, though, about being able to be free from anybody that you know, and you can be anything that you want and anyone you want, and you're just like unhinged in a very free, cool way. Yeah. So that probably was really exciting to be acting and not have anything holding you back, or any worries. So that's pretty exciting.
Was there a huge difference on how the Italians looked at how you look at the script and how you look at acting versus how you were brought up by your aunt and the influences you had in Mexico?
Good question.
Yes. In that period, the Italian construct, as you know, I don't know if you know, started with construct the character with the body from outside to inside, using their body. And on my case, we started in this method, psychophysics. You start to read, to understand the characteristic of the character inside.
Yes.
And I ordered, I need to create many things, thoughts, image, memories, sensation, and put the body at the service of that. No, yes. So I will put, I have something, a memory of this. I don't know. I remember my aunt inside. This is for my aunt. So I remember my aunt. So maybe when I see, I will look different because I remember my aunt. It's not just the practicing outside. I need to look like this. No, I think you need to believe that this is my aunt. So I will talk in a different way. And I need, it's amazing how they using their body. Yes, I think we need to mix both methods, but I prefer work first inside.
Yes.
More than outside. So
yeah. I totally get that because I'm taking acting classes and they talk about how some methods where you look to the external to create the character versus coming from the internal and pulling from your own experiences or pulling from as if you can relate to or figure out a way to connect to the emotion. So it comes out from inside versus looking from the external parts of your place in your environment to create the emotion. It's more authentic, I guess you would say. But you have to be careful not to pull from too many of your own personal experiences because you don't want to cause trauma or more trauma to yourself. So it's like as if like you act as if your aunt is there and connect. Yeah. Yeah, is that, yeah.
No, I agreed with you. I didn't, yes, I agree with you. In the method is as if, no, I could create another image, no, yes, not your life, yes.
Yes, yeah. Because you don't want to, I mean, it's easy. Sometimes it's easy to connect with on a personal level with the character if you can relate to them, but you have to be very careful because if you have, huge pieces of trauma from your childhood and you use that to tap in because it connects to the character, it could cause you more turmoil.
And in Mexico, we love the drama. It's because I really love my aunt method, because in Mexico is, if you have in your life terrible, you can act better. When I studied, that was the moda or the tendency that you need to be worst because you can be a better actor in that. When I studied that your drama, your life, and I say, I don't like it. I studied. So I asked to my aunt, please, I did a small group, teach us, because I don't like the way that my teachers are teaching us. I agree to express, but to look for in another ways. I don't know if the word in English, but to use all the other stuffs, the things that you have in the world to create, not just your story. I agree with that. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
We are happy for Viva la Fiesta, to both.
I was just going to mention, I seen this really interesting documentary about Rita Moreno, and she was cast against one of her exes in a movie, and she hadn't talked to this ex in a really long time, but they kind of had like a fling. It was one of those off and on things. Well, and they ended up getting cast, and he was like a really bad character. Like he treated her character horribly, and I guess at one point in the movie when they were filming a scene, it just got out of hand for her, and her emotionally, she emotionally went back to the times when they were actually together, and she went off on him. She started beating him up on camera, and they kept it in the movie. They kept her attack scene in the movie because it was just so strong. And even though she was emotionally damaged by it, it was golden money. It was golden money.
Wow.
It was a good story.
Yeah, so there's some good golden moments that can happen like that, and I'm sure that's really authentic, but you don't want to do it all the time.
Yeah, but at the risk of somebody's heart or emotions and stuff like that, it really did kind of spiral her down, but it made for good Hollywood.
But go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, because I was gonna move on to I had a question. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but it is a great way though, like you said, when you're thinking of your aunt, because the mug reminds you of your aunt, and then it's as if, and then you pull from those emotions to connect it to the character that you're in. It's not exactly, because I've done that before where they're like, you need to be upset about something, and and so I think about something that might have been made me sad, but I don't dive into that memory. I just kind of tap into it real quick and then draw out the emotions and then use the emotions to sort of pull into the character. So go ahead, Gabby.
No, I was just gonna say that leads me to the other question. When was that the aha moment where you realized how psychology and acting intertwined?
Good question.
The connection between I understand. Okay. The connection. All my life, I thought that psychology and theater were connected, and I studied, and the people say, but my first connection, when was I studied theater, and I saw how the actors, the directors, the creators or writers, all the people around of the theater were more connected with the human being. They have a deep understanding of the being, without labels, without saying this is normal, this is not normal. No, they just give the body and mind to be another person with love.
But no judgment.
No, yes, was amazing. The people as the way they need to be, or they can just be. So I admire, because they just want to understand. And when you act some character, even if it's the worst character that you don't want to do because you hate it, for example, in the end, when you act with your emotions, as Jocelyn say, you say, whoa, I could be like her, exactly like her, with the empathy. So that's for me is the magic of the theater, that you can understand the mother who hates her child, who do something wrong. It's terrible, but in the same time, it's amazing to understand, because you feel with your body, with everything, that character. So the theater do that. In my thesis, I did it because I did a thesis too, trying to understand psychoanalysis and art was the connection, no? And when I studied my second degree, with my master degree in family therapy, when I studied systemic psychology, I knew I created people who is like Virginia Satir or White, people who work with the things I was studying theater. So I felt hopeful, because I need to be honest. I when I finished psychology, I said, I hate psychology because they put the label, this is normal, this is functional. I said, what is that? No, the people you call crazy is amazing. So I left psychology. I quit. I say, I quit when I finished psychology. And here is my title. I don't want to know nothing about psychology. But when I studied my second master degree, I can use these strategies, the vision that I learned to help people with the things that I learned in theater. So when when I see the theater can help, that's your question, or the both? For the both, ¿verdad? And psychology, yes, for that. I answer or not?
Definitely. It's because, like, you know,
it's normal. I love the people who do. My best friends is for theater, because the people, I think, is more free. When I'm a psychologist, and I need to recognize that my species, how do you say, my
speciality?
my species, no, like an animal, my species, my
species.
My species.
Species.
Psychology species, we are strange because we defend a lot of the life, and I have amazing friends in psychology, but we need to broke some things, and the people in the theater broke. They do another thing. They need to do some things in the psychology, yes, but for me, the people who I find in theater, the people who act or who dedicate on something of that, understand the nature of the human incredible, and can help to the psychology a lot.
Yeah. Because it's like, you know, when they tell us, when we're learning about how to do character work and stuff, you have to find your archetypes and, you know, where that is. And then you think about psychology, they have archetypes as well, but it's more, you know, black and white. It's black and white, right? You know what they are based on what your information is, versus character work. It's like, it could go whatever which way, you know, you're thinking outside the box. You're not inside that box. With psychology, you're inside the box. With acting, you're not, you know, so, but bringing the archetypes our archetypes together, you know, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Yes, I say that I don't see about psychology, no, but psychology, to be honest, tries to understand the complexity of that lives. For example, try to understand the inside life that we live in our mind. That not all the time we permit to live in the terms of an absolutely real life. We don't. Our mind, in some cases, lives in a prison, in liberty, in creation, and not all the times we permit to live in that term. So we need to, and the psychologists understand that this mind, how can I understand my mind to be more, for me, free, free, enough to me. We try to help the people to be what they want to be, beyond their how do you say, their own boundaries. No, and always from the love, and that's for me because theater for me is love, and always from the love and not from fear. No, see, and I think if like psychologists, you can, that's a connection. We understand the complexity, and in that moment, in an actor, a young actor can understand the complexity of that life, can be a better actor. Imagine one actor who understands all these things that I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact too that like you were saying where like let's say you're a mother and you're really don't like your child. But really in real life you're a mother and you have a child and you love them so much, but you're not going to become that person, but you have to become that character. So you have to figure out a way how to tap into that character. And I mean, we've all been mad like at our kids, you know, for one way or another. So you could tap into maybe a moment in your life where you were really angry with your child and maybe use that to sort of fall into the character.
Yeah.
Or you could create a whole backstory with that character from a psychological standpoint, you know, like why would this woman be mad at her kid? Why would she not like that kid? You know, what happened to her and when she was growing up and, you know, and how did she become a mom in the first place? And you create a whole story from a psychological standpoint to create that character and that emotion so that it comes out authentically, you know? So I think people do both, you know, and you have to, you know, do what's best for you because you don't want to end up in that situation, Angela, like that one actress where you're
Angela,
Rita
beating
Morera.
the shit out of your ex-boyfriend, you know? But anyways, I have a question for you, and it's a little bit like we're kind of jumping off a little bit, but Gabby sent me she sends me videos all the time. I love it so much. And she sent me one about a college professor speaking about imposter syndrome. And I feel like when you're a creative, an actor on camera or a voice actor, everybody talks about imposter syndrome, or you feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like you're, you know, I am an actor, but like, am I really an actor? You know, I'm a voice actor, but am I really a voice actor? You know, like you don't, and I feel like we all suffer from this. But then the one video that Gabby sent me,
yes,
she said, yeah, mind blown for sure. She was like that it's a syndrome, or they say it's a syndrome, but it's really just a phenomenon, right? It's not even a syndrome. Like they just made it something so that to hold you back, right? Or hold us back, us women back. So what are your thoughts on that? Like what are your thoughts on imposter syndrome and yeah, from like a creative standpoint or a woman's standpoint?
no, it's not simple to answer that because
Yeah.
yes, because for me was a lesson that Gaby sent me to me that video too.
Yeah.
Because first I need to recognize that even if I say that I don't put a label, I put a label when I said the syndrome, the imposter syndrome too. So I did the same mistake and I say, okay, yes, I'm living this world. I can't broke everything, no, for that, but but even if it's not good to say for the origin,
yeah,
is in imposter syndrome, I need to be honest that in 20 years being a psychologist, it's one of the most problems that I have. Whatever subject you take here, the people, family therapy, couple therapy, individual therapy, with my child, I have a problem. I find in many times, I need to, maybe 90% the people don't feel that they are enough to do the thing that they need to do. It's for me, it's incredible how we don't recognize ourselves just to be whatever we need to be, without judgment that if is enough. So without put the word, no, they don't feel enough. And for me, is one of the best, is one of the principal problems inside of our mind, that all the time we are, how do you say in English? I'm not clear, doubt. We are in doubt all the time. We are in ask questions about if that we are doing okay, or if or no, they give me this, I'm the principal, when they will see that I'm not good enough. No, so for me it's dramatic. This is dramatic for me. This is a really drama, because all the time the problems in the couple, because I love to work with couples. You need to know I like the conflict. I love
You love the drama.
I really love. Yes, I really love. It's incredible how many problems they have for this. for don't, because they don't feel enough to the other, and the other will be discovered. Oh, you are not enough. Oh my God, my husband will see that I'm not enough and will left me. It's incredible how imposter syndrome, or this that I can explain, is one of the most drama. I think we find a way to, how do you say, is to cancel this will be the best to the human people, and not just say, I want to live whatever I want. If I do a mistake, I don't care. If they don't feel that I'm good, I don't care. I will do it. I prove to do it. No, and it's fear. And then it's fear.
How do we, sorry, go ahead. No, you go.
I was just gonna ask, where do you think that fear starts in most people? Do you think it starts during childhood, like, or is that something that kind of like grows as you start developing your life?
The fear?
Yeah, the fear of being not enough. Where do you think that comes from for most people?
And child.
Yeah.
As a psychologist, yes. Unfortunately, yes. I think, yes. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you do the work? I'm gonna bounce off of Angela, because we're kind of on the same page there. Like, how do you do, like, when you talk to the couples, and they have fear and doubt, like, what do they have to, how can we get past that? It's like, how can we let go of fear or let go of the doubt in order to be able to step into our powerful selves, and know that we're good enough, right? Whether it's in acting or voice acting or just in life. By the way, I might have to sign up with my man babe, and if you want, if you work with couples, we're something.
No,
I'm just joking. I'm teasing.
Yes, and my English is not enough to explain even myself. Imagine in therapy. No, but we have techniques, but the secret in couple, and this is that it's not enough, is the people. I say in the beginning, you all the time have problems and drama in your home. Here, no, please, no. You don't come to say something wrong to each other, because I don't accept it here. I put some rules, because you do that in your home, good. But yes. But I have a technique to put in a mirror the both of the couple, no? And they normally say, oh, my wife, I do this, and my husband do this, and I did everything, and you never hear me, but you never arrive to home at that time, because all the time is the how do you say, la queja? How do you say queja? Queja.
Conflict?
No,
yes, all the time.
Complaining.
Oh, complaining.
Is the complaining. And the couples normally, they in their mind, I hope this woman, Veronica, change my husband. Oh, I want will change my wife, please. Is their motive, but not, they don't arrive to say, I will change. No, they arrive, you need to change the other, not me. So in the first beginning, I try to say, okay, this problem that you have, this that you have, inside of this, have a pain. Have a pain. So normally in the first session, I put a mirror, and we arrive to understand the pain of the other. So they stop it and started to hear that, oh my God, you feel this? Yes, when you don't arrive at 8 to have a dinner with me, I don't feel enough. No, and it's not because all the time you arrive enough, because you do this, you never heard nothing. But it's when you stop it and say, when you arrive at this time, I feel like this. I feel my pain is this. When you speak with the pain, the other here, believe me, not that you do this, and no, even if you do with that, my love, I want to say you something. You did wrong this. You don't do this. No, even that
doesn't work.
Doesn't work. But it works when you hear the pain of the other inside. It's like the mind. And when the others go, oh, my husband feel like this. Oh, my wife is like this. They started to hear each other and stop it and say, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. or I didn't imagine like this. I don't know if I explained well.
Yeah, you
Yes?
did. You
Yeah,
did.
you did.
Well, I'm wondering too, like where we could take that as creatives, like where you all of a sudden, if you feel like you're not enough or you're questioning or in doubt or like, can I do this character or can I even show up, to this script and I'm not sure if it's good, and to like feel like, where's this coming from, right? Like, why am I feeling this way? Is this something inside me that I need to just sort of like sort out and unpack and feel the pain or feel the emotion of like what's bubbling up, instead of
Like,
just pushing
how do
it
you do it
down.
by yourself, right? Like
And
Yeah.
by
here I have
yourself.
some, yes. And here I have some exercise that I can explain now. It's too big, but I left some exercise for theater, and they go to home to do some theater things, strategies, and they are right. Oh, I did this, and I can lose, because if you put the theater in that moment, they can empathize with the other. That's something. In that moment is the theater strategies go, and it's incredible how they open, because they are doing like if, no?
As
if,
if, yeah.
as
As
if,
if.
Yeah.
yes, as if, yes. I use a lot as if in therapy, a lot.
Yeah. Interesting.
So you would have to look at yourself from a third person perspective? Like,
One of
out
the
of body?
yes, one of the technique is that, and the other technique is create the third character in the relationship that is the relationship. So you need to write something that I left, that creative. If the relationship is a character, you need to give a voice. So you need to say, it's not that, I don't know, Veronica or Armando, my husband, it's not that Armando needs, Veronica needs, no, what the relationship needs. How is the relation? How how do you say, the components of the relation, how are they, and what they need the relation as a character. So as if, imagine that what character we have, oh, this will be a, I don't know, they invented this will be a rainbow, or they invented many things, but they create a character when we started to work the relationship as a character, as if. And it's amazing because they cut their own necessities and they put the necessity of the relationship, and that's don't show in psychology. You can see this just in theater.
Interesting.
Yes, it's another, and it's incredible how they can, the things that they can do when they see the relationship, know their individualities.
And can you do that like on, like, if I'm writing a character for the relationship I have with myself?
Interesting. I did it, but yes, no, it's interesting. It's interesting. I never did like a therapy. Maybe I joke with myself, but you can try. I know it's interesting, isn't it? But I not use it normally in the therapy, but I have homework. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting though, because a lot of times like when in acting or voice acting, it's you are it. You know what I'm saying? Like this is who you are, especially in voice acting, because even though there's character work or anime or whatever, a lot of times it's just your voice and you have to be authentically you, and they want a real person. And they say conversational, real person, and they want you, but then it's like, that whole psychology behind not being chosen or being shortlisted and not booked, and like it really weighs on you as a voice actor. And it's hard, it's like hard to move through that. But I think that like something I've learned as a voice actor and actor, I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like sometimes just like keep going, keep going, keep going, next, next, But I can't lie. I mean, every once in a while that imposter syndrome slips in, or the life behind the curtain, creeps in and disrupts my like mental state, and and that's when I just have to take a break. So, anyways, how do you guys feel about that?
Completely on board and feel the same.
Lloyd, we can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Oh, now I
oh,
can.
now we can.
Oh, that's weird. No, I think I've said it before, but like I just have really gotten comfortable with the mindset that invariably I will always be told no more than I am told yes. So knowing that that's coming, it's just like, okay, well, I'm not surprised. On to the next one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's a really like powerful thing to, that's cool. I need to do that. My man babe was always he's like sales, so his whole philosophy behind even he's like, look at it like you're selling a product. Okay. So you offer it to one person, you tell them why they need it and they don't want it. Next, like moving on. And the more that you can, the more auditions you can do, the more often you're finally going to be able to get in front of the right person who likes what you have to offer and likes your voice and likes your acting skills. And it's also timing too. So, yeah,
That's true.
so anyways, well, I have one question about your aunt and she was a great actress in Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
great.
what was she in, like television, commercials? Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
She
So,
won many Ariels. In Mexico is the best
Award.
yes.
award. Yeah.
Award, yes.
That's awesome. So was that her career for her whole lifetime and was acting? Was she always an actress?
Yeah, she was a dancer when she was young.
Oh, okay.
Yes. She couldn't because she has an accident and yeah, and after that she decided to be an actress. For me was one of the best actors because she was a how do you say chameleon?
Chameleon.
Chameleon. So she was a chameleon. So yeah, she did
Interesting.
movies, she did theater, she was a director. All the time she was growing with inside and outside. And I never in my life hear some judgment for anyone. That it's difficult too because the actors no, but never all the time she has a different view of their life. Every person in essence is good for her, even if they do the work. So for me was as whoa, no, how do you think about that? So for me, I broke with her the concept of being functional. Everybody is functional. We are trying to do the best with the better we have. And saying that, it's another subject because it was with the bad person. So it's another subject. But she was the theater was her child, her husband, her everything.
Oh,
So
her
she
acting was
taught.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, but yes, she never had a husband, she never had a child. She was married with the theater all her life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Just
Wow.
acting. Just acting.
Wow. And it sounds like she treated everybody else with respect around her. That was whether they were an
That's a
actor
baby.
or a camera or a director or a lighting person or yeah,
And with empathy too. Like
yeah.
just looking at people and I don't know, like someone who steals and thinking and having empathy for that person and being like, no, he has his own story and his own
And shine.
Yeah.
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 She
And
was
he's
so-
trying the best that he can
Yeah.
is amazing.
She wasn't an open person. She wasn't open. She was on contrary. She was like this. Why do you want to talk to me? Because you're an actress. Okay, yes, okay. She was a different actress. She was all the time inside, not outside. So it was strange for the people. How is so famous? And she's like this.
She
Yeah,
didn't like being in the public eye.
I get that.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I get that
She was an
too.
introvert.
Yeah.
Complete introvert, and she was like,
Oh, yeah, I get that. So I know we touched on this in the beginning, and can be like one of our last questions, unless you guys all have one more question. Would you have gone into acting if you hadn't reconnected with your aunt? Like you wanted to always be in acting, it was always a part of you? Or do you think that maybe you got into acting because of your aunt and your aunt coming into your life?
I questioned myself many years that,
Yeah.
no, first to be with my aunt, I was to be an actress.
Okay.
Because I didn't have this relationship with her until I have 17, that I have an aunt who is an actress. Okay, I will live with her because I live with my grandfather, with my grandma. I want to live now with her because she
Yeah.
and it was like this my life. So no, I think she was an inspiration.
Yeah.
And I think too, because I need to work with a lot with myself, I have a lot complex. It's okay. And I think that for me, she was too big. And it's because I was free in Italy, not in Mexico, because everybody, oh, you need to be like your hair, because everybody says that my aunt is my mom. In the artist medium, everybody knows me and everybody requests me, the things that you will be like this. And I say, I don't know if I will be bad hair. For example, she didn't love the street theater, and I love it. For example, because she was a diva. She was like, no, that's not a good theater. I like clown. And she said, oh, no, clown is not good theater. So she was like, so in the same way that was an inspiration.
It was different.
Yes, was paradoxic, our relation for that. So I understand this many years later.
Yeah.
And it's because in Italy I was so free, because I was myself doing the theater that she didn't love. I love the justice or the social subjects or to help people. And she was Chekhov, Stanislavski, and I was different in that way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's really cool. Well, do you guys have any last questions or comments or?
Yeah, like what piece of advice or thought could you give an actor as a psychologist who has a background in acting?
Be humble, to know that you don't know, and always surprise yourself. Don't lose this capacity to live every day as the last day in your life. For me, and play, enjoy, and play, enjoy. Be humble and surprise and play, enjoy.
I love that.
Me
I
too.
love that. That's
Yeah.
so great. Thank you for coming on
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Thank
was
you for my
amazing.
English.
No,
Oh,
you
it
did
was
great.
perfect.
You
It
did
was
great.
great.